More police departments across the country are offering discounts on smart surveillance cameras, but should you really be taking them up on this offer? Annie Taylor's here with some of the security concerns with these deals.
Now, police departments in major cities like Houston and Washington, D.C. have started offering incentives to get people to install cameras like Ring in their homes. Now, some small communities have also joined this trend. Discounts are often offered in exchange for access to video that's captured on those cameras. So when police partner with companies like Ring, they have the ability to zone in on certain areas where people have the camera installed and request footage that was filmed at certain times. And if a person refuses to hand over the footage, police can put in a formal request for it. But another concern, besides police having all the access to your video, is being in the video without knowing. This is most likely to happen if you have a neighbor with a surveillance camera. And that's why security experts are advising you to point your cameras away from neighbors and let people know that they're being filmed. Also, don't be so quick to hand over your video to police. Law enforcement actually doesn't have the right to view your video without a court order. And if you see something suspicious happening through your camera, don't share the video online unless there's an actual crime happening. You could be incriminating people before they've done anything wrong.
All right, Annie, thank you. And declawing cats, it's controversial. Now New York is close to becoming the first state to ban it. Now, just a few cities have already done this, but tomorrow we're going to go to one of those cities, and we're going to talk to a vet who played a big role in getting it banned. We're also taking a look at the backlash from some groups who say it's still needed.
And we've got severe thunderstorm warnings continuing for portions of Vigo and Clay counties here. This one's going to roll until 6:15, and then portions of Franklin County until 6:30. Biggest severe weather threat along and south of Interstate 70. That's all for the Now Indy. The news at 6 starts right now.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
It's a story you first saw here on RTV6. Cell phone stores being robbed across Indianapolis and in the surrounding counties. Now there are multiple arrests in the case.
A new effort is underway to protect animals from abuse and neglect. I'm Tara Kenny with why some in Howard County say the laws need to change.
After nearly 2 hours of public testimony, the Brown County Commissioners made a decision on a controversial petting zoo. I'm Stephanie Wade with that story just ahead.
We begin now at 6, tracking severe thunderstorms moving across Indiana. We have some warnings right now for several counties until 9 o'clock.
So we're going to get it right to Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory with that. Kevin, we've been seeing a lot of rain coming and going very quickly.
So we've got flash flood warnings as well as thunderstorm warnings, and then good old-fashioned heavy rain in many, many spots. Let me just show you the flash flood warning for 2 to 4 inches of rain that has already been reported, with additional heavy rain in progress. As far as the severe thunderstorm watch from just north of Indy south until 9 o'clock, I think we'll continue to trim away from north to south as this line passes your area. The severe weather threat will come to an end. There are the thunderstorms. They're fairly widespread. Warnings in the southeast portion of the state, Batesville towards Cincinnati. Kyle was just telling you from Vigo County, southeast of Terre Haute to Interstate 70 south of Brazil. Some thunderstorms capable of 60-mile-per-hour winds, actually with a history of 60-mile-per-hour winds. Here's some of the estimated rainfall. You go into Rush County, then all the way back up toward Lafayette. Montgomery and Boone County, 4 to 4.5 inches of rain. More rain slicing through Hendricks County. That will come into the southern half of Marion County. Strong storm from Columbus to Greensburg, cutting across Interstate 65. About ready to leave southern portions of Lawrence County. Heavy rainfall. And then this storm with a history of 60-mile-per-hour winds from Terre Haute east along Interstate 70.
Only on RTV6, a major break into the investigation into the rash of cell phone store robberies across central Indiana. We are learning new details, including that the FBI assisted in that investigation. Call 6 Investigates found out authorities have arrested a total of 24 people in connection to those robberies. They are facing 42 criminal charges, from 11 misdemeanors to 31 felonies. It's a story we were the first to bring you on RTV6 last Monday. And Call 6 Investigates' Paris LaBelle is on the city's west side tonight with this story.
This is one of those cell phone stores that was robbed at Crawfordsville Road and 465. Metro Police saying they have now made a significant number of arrests in the case.
Call 6 has learned that a majority of the suspects have been young adults under the age of 25, and a number of them have been under the age of 18. Metro Police say that's very concerning.
To me, what's more concerning than that, we have adults hanging out with juveniles that are doing what? Why are you a 19 or 20-year-old hanging around with a 15 or 16-year-old?
And for anti-violence groups like Faith Indiana, hearing that young adults and teens are involved in these crimes is something that has to change.
It takes a holistic approach to addressing gun violence, and instead of over-criminalizing and policing our community is taking it back. And we are focusing on the small amount of individuals in our community that are likely to shoot or be shooters themselves.
Police say there are more suspects out there, and they're also changing their focus to people buying the phones.
Where not only are we going to continue to go after other individuals that we're still looking for, but we're also going to start directing our attention to those individuals that are buying phones off of the street.
24 people are now under arrest, facing a combined 42 number of charges in those cell phone store robberies that were terrorizing customers and employees across central Indiana. The robberies and arrests spanning multiple counties and targeted stores like AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, Metro PCS, and T-Mobile. And police say hundreds of thousands of dollars of cell phones were taken in the robberies.
Metro Police say they are investigating a number of other suspects as well. Those cases are currently ongoing. On the west side, Paris Lubell, RTV6.
New developments tonight on a story we first told you about Tuesday. Commissioners in Brown County made their decision today on a controversial petting zoo coming to their community. Opponents argue it's not safe for visitors or the animals, especially after a child was injured there a few months ago by a wolf. RTV6's Stephanie Wade was there when the decision came down.
All three commissioners saying today they have received more letters and emails on this particular issue than ever before. And you could tell after hearing nearly 2 hours of testimony from the public before the commissioners finally made their decision. One by one, people took to the podium to share their thoughts on the petting zoo moving from Bartholomew County to Brown County. It's garnered a lot of attention as their current animal ordinance doesn't address petting zoos. Kathleen Bowen's Zoopolis is home to more than 100 exotic animals ranging from zebras to donkeys, chinchillas, reptiles, and raccoons. The opposition wanting to ensure animals are taken care of properly and visitors won't be in danger of getting hurt or catching any disease.
It's a for-profit business at the expense of animals. That is concerning to me as a citizen.
But in a 2-to-1 vote Wednesday, the commissioners approved rezoning the land so Bowen can keep her business.
Of course I'm pleased.
An animal lover with the intentions to educate the public about these exotic animals, Bowen says
it's benefiting society. It's benefiting the kids. It benefits parents.
The only commissioner to vote no says his issue was
the traffic in and out of the place of business was a primary reason for me voting the way I did.
The zoo was located off of State Road 46 and TC Steel Road, with 3 other businesses located at that intersection already. And while it was approved today, that also came along with a recommendation that the Animal Control Board examine changing the ordinance to more clearly address petting zoos.
I am disappointed that the commissioners didn't table the issue for 30 days to allow the Animal Control Commission to develop ordinances for a petting zoo.
People have a vision as to what I'm doing, and then they hear other people and they get on the bandwagon instead of saying, wait a minute here, folks, I'm going to go check them out first.
Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
RTV6 is working for you and getting results. On Friday, we told you about a broken fence around Stony Brook Apartments on the east side. A homeowner reached out to RTV6 for help because children from that complex were going through the fence and wandering into Marcia Tate's yard. Tate worried someone would get hurt and that her property rights were being compromised. Well, Stony Brook is fixing the fence just days after our story.
I saw where you could email you, and then you contacted me within 30 minutes, and then by noon you were here. Heavens, yes. I was really excited for you to come.
And we helped get something done here.
Yes, sir, you did.
Tate says her grandchildren feel safer now that the fence is almost fully repaired. And if you have a problem and need help getting results, reach out to us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Tonight, a Central Indiana community is making changes to stop animal abuse and neglect. A Howard County councilman and a Kokomo shelter director say their laws are too weak to keep dogs and cats safe. Our Kara Kenny is working for you tonight to find out the new measures underway to save lives.
More than 3,000 animals come into the Kokomo Humane Society every year. About 93% of them leave here alive. But the shelter director says the community can do more to save lives and protect animals from abuse and neglect. Rick Mathis used to work for Homeland Security to protect others. He's visiting the Kokomo Humane Society because he wants to save a life.
You pretty girl.
The life of Aloha, an 8-month-old Belgian Malinois.
But she's going to be a pet now because I've retired. So
once she's spayed, Aloha will be one of thousands of dogs and cats to leave the Kokomo Humane Society through adoption, transfer, foster, or otherwise alive.
I think it's great. Animals have as much right as humans, and I believe that.
The 93% live release rate is a significant improvement from when Director Karen Wolf started at the shelter in 2010. Back then, only 37% of animals that came into the shelter survived. The Kokomo Humane Society also serves as animal control. They say they're faced with weak county and city ordinances. They say force them to leave dogs and cats in neglectful situations.
There isn't a set temperature that people can't keep their animals outside. We have no control to go in and just take an animal. If it appears, if they have food, water, and shelter, we can't touch them, even if the shelter is a cardboard box. So we need to change some things.
They're working with County Councilman John Roberts.
I have witnessed animals that were being neglected, but the ordinance didn't cover. There's an empty spot there. It was lacking.
Roberts created a 12-member committee that will look at ordinances in other cities like Indianapolis. Indy's ordinance has requirements for shelter, fenced enclosures, tethering, and when to bring an animal inside during extreme weather.
Our hope really, Kara, is to have the best animal ordinance in the state of Indiana.
In the meantime, the shelter is trying unconventional methods to increase adoptions, like a cat cafe where you can enjoy coffee and cats. So far, more than 131 animals have been adopted from the cafe since it opened in September. You can help by fostering, adopting, or donating your time or money to a local humane society or animal shelter. Reporting in Kokomo, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
In less than 2 months, the Indiana State Fair will be in full swing, and today we learned the first 6 of 17 concerts you'll get to see on the free stage. Opening night, August 2nd, Ace Frehley, original Kiss guitarist. August 4th is country singer Chase Rice. The Pop 2000 tour, hosted by Lance Bass, is set for August 9th. Rock star Melissa Etheridge will perform on August 15th. 90s alternative rockers Everclear are on tap for August 16th. And the Gospel Music Festival, headlined by Mary Mary, will be on the last day of the fair, Sunday, August 18th. Each concert is free with fair admission. More announcements will be coming soon. Some good names there on that list.
You need to start requesting some of those nights off.
You better put the PTO in right now, right? Still ahead here on the news at 6, a restaurant chain that treats employees like family, and they're looking to expand.
And how raising his hand in class led to a long career in broadcasting for Brian Hammonds, and it all started at age 18 right here at Channel 6.
And we're on the road with the Indians as some success away from Victory Field looks to continue here as the month of June gets started. I'm Brad Brown. We're live in Louisville. We'll have a look ahead to tonight's contest and what's in store for the Tribe for the rest of the week coming up on the news at 6.
And dry in Louisville for now. Of course, we've got thunderstorms with torrential rainfall anywhere from Terre Haute to the metro area along Interstate 70. We'll talk about the threat and for how much longer with some of these storms coming up.
Welcome back. Hiring Hoosiers is RTV6's initiative to connect you to open jobs and resources to better your life. And today we were looking at how one Tex-Mex restaurant chain manages to retain employees for years. Chuy's is also expanding, so there are a number of opportunities for you to become a part of what Chuy's employees like Shane Lopez call a family. Lopez says she not only has been able to transfer from the Clarksville location to Noblesville, she's had the opportunity to be promoted, which has allowed her a better work-life balance.
I am a single parent. It's been difficult, but being at Chuy's has really helped. They're really flexible about my schedule, and whatever I need, they're willing to kind of accommodate that.
General Manager Russell Byrne says many servers make at least $1,000 a week. Chuy's is opening a new location in Carmel in the coming weeks. They need to hire more than 100 employees, ranging from servers, bartenders, cooks, and more. And full-time employees are eligible for benefits. To learn more, visit hiringhoosiers.com. 70 years ago, Channel 6 went on the air with only a handful of employees.
Over the decades, hundreds of changing faces have brought you the news, weather, and sports, and we've enjoyed catching up with some of them to share their memories to celebrate our 70th anniversary, which was May 30th. Brian Hammond's story starts in a sportscasting class at Butler University. It was 1979. He was a freshman. The instructor, Channel 6 sports director, Tom Carnegie.
The first day of the class, he said, "Does anybody want to come in and help me on the weekends?" My hand went right up, and he chose me. Now, Tom was the sports director, but he was the weekend sports anchor. So I went in the first weekend, and I helped him get wire copy back when wire copy was a thing, and just helped him any way I could. The second weekend, I show up in the morning, and he hands me a credential and says, "You're going down to Bloomington to cover the IU-Minnesota football game." "How do you do that?" He said, "Here's your cameraman, Greg Williams. He'll walk you through everything. Just do what he tells you to do." So I went down there. We covered the game. I'm taking notes. And at the end of the game, I do a couple of interviews. I interviewed Lee Corso, who was the head coach at IU at the time, and a couple of players. And we get back, and Tom says, "I want a package on the air at 11 o'clock. I said, "What's that?" And he told me, he said, "Well, you're going to do a report on the game." "Me? I'm going to be on the air?" "Yeah, you're going to be on the air at 11 o'clock. Okay. So I wrote a package and voiced it, and Greg Williams cut it.
Tim Clifford tucks it under his arm and scampers in to give Indiana a 28-17 lead. Both teams exchange fourth quarter touchdowns to make it 35-24. But late in the game, Mike Harkreader scores from the one for his third touchdown of the afternoon. Harkreader finished with 132 yards on 23 carries. Indiana's victory guaranteed them of their first winning season since 1968. Once again, the final, Indiana 42, Minnesota 24. This is Brian Hammonds for Channel 6 Sports.
I was on the air as a snot-nosed 18-year-old know-nothing kid. And next thing you know, I'm on the air on a regular basis on Channel 6.
Funny how that works, right?
Not easy.
Yeah. Brian's TV career also included 21 years at the Golf Channel.
To watch all of our 70th anniversary stories and our 1-hour special, head to theindychannel.com and click on 70 Years Together at the top of the homepage.
Flooding is certainly concerned with some of these downpours, repeated downpours. Boone County is one. This is Thorntown, northwest Boone County. Water flowing through a field where they've had anywhere from 4 to 4.5 inches of rain. Same can be said in northern portions of Montgomery County. Wind from the strongest storms has been the main threat. We've had several documented cases of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with the storms. Then they've all had torrential rainfall. Within the RTV6 viewing area, no thunderstorm warnings at this hour. We continue to have flash flood warnings anywhere from southern Tippecanoe County all the way into northern Rush. Now Nashville along State Road 46 over to Columbus. Flash flood warning in effect there. You know, when you get terrain and hills involved, you can get water moving quickly and conditions change drastically. So do not try to drive across a flooded roadway. North of Indianapolis, everything calming down, with the exception of northern Hendricks County. Other strong storms in Vigo County will move into Clay and cross 231, probably south of Spencer and toward Bloomfield. Within the metro area, very heavy rainfall northwest of Eagle Creek along Interstate 74. Brownsburg to Pittsboro, Liston impacting 74. That'll come through northern Marion County. Very heavy rainfall in progress from Mooresville to southern portions of Marion County, and this is the reason for the flash flood warning just issued east of Nashville through Bartholomew County and Columbus. Heavy rainfall. When will it end? 7 o'clock tonight. The focus continues to shift south of Interstate 70. By the time we get to 8, Bloomington, Greensburg, Seymour south, and then 9 o'clock, still some ongoing thunderstorms to the south, any one of which would have heavy rainfall. By the time you're headed off to bed, I think we'll put any severe weather threat behind us and turn off the water as well. Tomorrow, 82 degrees, tomorrow and Friday. Let's both look at these as positives, that our rainfall chances much lower. Temperatures will be in the lower 80s. As you see, Saturday, rain chances will come back up. Tomorrow, best chance for any rain will be closer to the Ohio River. Temperatures in the metro area, lower 80s. That chance for a thunderstorm just 20%. As we look beyond, our chance for rain stays low on Friday as well. There's the cloud cover through the day tomorrow. 7-day forecast. forecast. Showers and thunderstorm chances come back up with a heavy rainfall potential Saturday and Sunday. We're consistently in the mid-70s through much of next week, at least through the middle of next week. Those are below average temperatures.
All right. Thank you, Kevin, for that.
Well, Brad Brown is on the road tonight with the Indianapolis Indians.
He joins us live from Louisville. Hey, Brad.
Hey, Amanda and Mark, good evening. We had a chance to get away with the team a little bit this week, and they're going to be in Louisville tonight, Toledo tomorrow night. We're going to get in on the road trip here and see what it's all about. There's been some away success for the Indians here in this middle part of the season as they've won 10 of their last 12 on the road, the third of a 3-game set here tonight. Show you a little bit of the highlights from the first 2 games of this one. 7-6 the scores each on Monday and Tuesday. On Monday night, J.B. Shuck had a 3-run home run at 4 RBI. Indians blew a lead but came back and got a run in the 10th to win it by a 7-6 margin. Then last night they fell behind 5-0, came all the way back to get within a run, threatened in the 9th but could not convert, so 7-6. The other way, the rubber game tonight. As for this recent road success, we talked with Jake Elmore a little earlier. The Indians here, the Pirates organization, his 10th big league ball club, talked about how they've been getting it done on the road.
When a team starts gelling, you know, it really doesn't matter where, and that's where a lot of people talk about getting your team ready at the right time, around playoff time, and you see some teams who kind of sputter through the year, and all of a sudden they click right around playoff times and make a run at the World Series or whatever the case may be, and it's just because they came together at the right time. So, you know, we're certainly coming together a little bit right now, and we want to keep that rolling.
So far this season, Indians have the 2nd best record in the league. We talked about that recent road success. Will Craig has been one of the big bats in the lineup. 15 home runs and 40 RBIs. And how about Brian Hayes? His first season with the Indians, 20 doubles leading the league. Hope we see some more runs tonight. The pitching has 2nd best ERA and runs against in the International League. We'll see if they get it done on the mound here tonight. Now, the bigger story we're doing with this is the actual road trip part of this. When they're done here tonight, the Indians will load up the bus. They're going to take a 300-mile, 4.5-hour ride up to Toledo. Expect to get up there around 3:30 in the morning, and then again tomorrow night. We'll be doing this right about like this, but at Fifth Third Field as they start a 4-game series against the Mud Hens. We're looking forward to that as we continue on this week here with the Indians. We'll see you up there then. Talk a little bit about the Pacers today. Another of their draft workouts taking place this morning. It included IU forward Juwan Morgan, who just finished up his 4 years in Bloomington, scored more than 1,300 career points with the Hoosiers. It's actually his 2nd chance trying to get to the draft. He came back for his senior year, but now he's trying to see if there's a team in the league that will take a shot on him.
I think immediate impact will be on the defensive end. I think I could, impact in different ways. I feel like defense is the best way to get on the floor when you're not going to come in and just be a dominant scorer. And I also think just being able to space the floor because, the game is all about space and just being able to hit the corner 3, open up drives for different people. I think those things are what I would bring to this team.
Pacers have another workout tomorrow. Kyle Guy will be part of that group in Indianapolis for that one. We'll talk about that coming up on Thursday. The weather might kick one around here tonight, too. We'll see if the rain rolls in, but if not, we're looking forward to a good one here between the Indians and the Bats tonight in Louisville. We'll send it back to the studio to wrap up this edition of the News at 6. Next.
You see what I see? Nice rainbow there, looking from the Speedway to downtown, just under the storm team in the upper right. I'm sure you found it. Flood warnings, flash flood warnings from near Lafayette all the way down to northern Rush County. Heaviest rain, strongest storm right now in Bartholomew County, just southeast of Columbus, between Columbus and Seymour on Interstate 65. And there's some of the estimated rainfall already, 2 to 4 inches plus tax.
All right, we'll be back at 7 with more weather updates.
Have a good evening.